my mother believed that you could become anything you wanted to be. In America, you could open a restaurant, you could work for government, you get a good retirement. You could buy a house with almost no money down. You could become rich, and you could become instantly famous. Of course, you can be prodigy too. My mother told me when I was 9, you can be best anything. What does your Auntie Linda know? Her daughter. She is only best tricky. America was where all my mother's hopes lay. She came here in 1949 after losing everything in China. Her mother and father, her family home, her first husband, and 2 daughters, twin baby girls. But she never looked back with regret. There are so many ways for things to get better. We didn't immediately pick the right kind of prodigy. At first, my mother thought I'll be a Chinese Shirley Temple. We watched Shirley's old movie on TV as though they're training films. And my mother would poke my arm and say, "Hey, 你看, you watch." And I would see Shirley's tapping her feet, or singing a cellar songs, or pursing her lips into a very round O while she's saying, "Oh my goodness." Soon my mother got this idea of Shirley Temple. She took me to a beauty training school in Mission District and put me in the hands of a student who could barely handle scissors without shaking. Instead of get a big fat curls, I merged with this an even mess of crinkly black fuzz. And my mother had to drag me off to the bathroom and wet it down. "You look like a ridiculous Chinese," she lamented, as if I'd done it on purpose. And the instructor of beauty training school had to lop off those soggy clumps to make my hair even again. Peter Pan's really popular these days. The instructor of beauty training school assured my mother I now had bad hair, the length of a boy's, with curl bands at a slant 2 inches above my eyebrow. I liked the hair. It actually made me look forward to my future fame. In fact, I was just as excited as my mother. Maybe even more so. I pictured this prodigy part myself in many different images. And I tried each one on for size. I was this dainty ballerina girl standing by the curtain and waiting for the right music that sent me floating on my tiptoes. I was like a holy child that left out a straw manger and cried with holy dignity. I was Cinderella, stepped out from her pumpkin carriage, and with sparkly cartoon music filling the air. In all of my imaginings, I was filled with a sense that I would soon become perfect. My mom and my father would adore me, and I would be far beyond reproach. And I would never feel the need to clamor for anything. So every night after dinner, my mom and I would sit at the Formica top table, and she will present her test, taking examples from We Please Believe It or Not, Good Housekeeping, Reader's Digest, or any other dozens of magazines that she kept a pile in our bathroom. My mother got those magazines from people whose house she cleaned, and since she cleaned many houses each week, we got great assortment. And she will look through them all and searching for stories about remarkable children. Oh, the tests got harder. Multiply the numbers in my head, find a queen of hearts, deck of cards, trying to stand on my head without using my hands, and predict the daily temperature of New York, Los Angeles, and London. One night, and I have to look a page from the Bible for 3 minutes and report everything I can remember. So now Jehoshaphat had riches and honored in abundance, and that's all I could remember, Mom, I said. Soon after seeing that disappointed face again, something inside me began to die. I hated the test because they raised hope and fell expectations. So now when my mother presented the test, I performed listlessly. I propped my head on one arm and I pretended to be bored. And I was. I got so bored, so that I started counting the bells of the foghorn out on the plain while my mother drilled me in the other areas. And the sound was comforting me. It reminded me of the cow jumping over the moon. And the next day, I played a game with myself to see if my mother would give up on me before 8 bellows. As usual, I start count only 1, maybe 2 at most. At last, she was beginning to give up hope. Thank you.